Alright, I believe we are live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another installment of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament here on Randomania Prime. Or just Randomania for those of you who type things in. Joining me tonight in the booth, we have Papa Foys and Poogle on tracking, and our lovely restreamer Wolfman2000. He's not actually joining us in the booth. That probably is a bad thing, but anyway, Papa Foys, why don't you salvage this?
I'm actually quite enjoying you running the train off the tracks already. We haven't even started the race.
I mean, train wrecks are kind of what I do.
We see no divergence in party here. We've got the boring Red Mage Forest. Battle of 2-1s tonight. Edgefigaro gonna have the task of slaying the dragon, the fun police, TristalMTG. This is a battle of... this might be a battle of the gods here. Edgefigaro, TristalMTG are number 1 and number 2 on SRL Lives, respectively, for the Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a match to watch. Like, I think this morning Will and I even said, you know, this is one of the matches, if you can only catch a couple this week, you need to put in time to catch this one in particular. I take a little bit of issue with the boring forced Red Mage, because Red Mages are never boring, but, you know, to each their own. We are definitely seeing the Fighter and Mage Rainbow tonight, though.
Just not enough fighters in this match. Whoa, we need more.
How did I know that was what you were going to say? I mean, I'm personally more of a taking a thief over a black mage runner myself, but I also suck at this game, so what do I know?
We can't all be these two. These are two guys that you want to watch and aspire to, they're just going to start.
Yeah, and we're going to see where they opt to check first. Edge is looking for that item. I think we saw a level 1 fast and a level 1 exit. Nice.
We also had Saber level 1. I'm taking the thief now. Reset.
Yeah, this almost seems like the perfect opportunity to re-roll and stick a ninja in there, because you're almost guaranteed to find a tail in the Swiss flags.
I do have out no AoE damage spells in level 1 though, so we're going to be hoping for not deadly imps out here in the overworld.
And if so, then, you know, we get to kind of buckle in for a little bit.
Ooh, Tristal bought 2 cabins and isn't going to have enough money for the inn. Don't reset, Tristal. Don't do it. Oh, there we go.
Well, he's got 2 cabins, so at least he can still afford to save as long as he survives this hike up.
Boy, that's a hero run. You almost reset. Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, you almost reset and just mosey on in here.
Oh, yeah, that bodes well for this being a relatively quick seed. Like, if you can get that many steps right after reset, power cycle, that's going to do a lot.
Yeah, there are a lot of safe squares around Corneria, so that initial walk is a little bit deceptive, but it's definitely...
You're still generally going to see a fight somewhere around the forest or swamp. You know, unless you do have that nice long run right at the outset.
We're gonna get our first look at beautiful Garland here.
Yeah, that coral sword in the chest, probably a welcome sight considering we don't really have a lot of heavy-hitting spells so far.
No Ice 1, though, putting in work. Garland is arresting pepperonis.
And a bat tries to keep us from the princess. Alright, so we're getting a canoe from the king and a tail from the princess. Well, there you go in terms of the class change.
Oh, you're definitely resetting and getting a thief.
And Garland does knock a few of Edgefigaro's Light Warriors down, but that is going to force a reset.
Right, he's gonna. What did we miss? We saw the rub the first time through, but he had something worse.
I think he just connected. I think he missed Tristal when he. Well, okay, what it was is he did the rub, and then Tristal was able to burn him down with the Coral Sword and the ice attacks. I think Edge might have gotten a little bit worse rolls, and that just didn't pan out.
Alright. Tristal's going to give us our first look over here at the Dwarf Cave. We're looking for either the bridge or the ship in a box.
Well, he can just take that canoe and head south over the river there past Northwest Castle. What I like to lovingly refer to as the long way.
See, I was just making sure you were paying attention.
Ah, clever. Just always trying to keep me on my toes.
The bridge of credits.
We do get our credit sequence, so we're in good shape. Edgefigaro, taking his second shot at Garland, did make sure to go back and grab that Coral Sword, and as long as his fighter stays upright, he should be fine. But that big ice roll, so Edge is going to be getting his canoe and his tail.
We did have relatively cheap cabins, but not an exorbitant amount of money to buy a ton of them. So it would be interesting to see if they run into any nasty enemies on their walk here. As Tristal's made it about 75% of the way with nothing terrible yet.
Now, he's got that Coral Sword in hand, he's got a few shots of ice. As long as he doesn't have to deal with... Yeah, as long as something like wolves don't have something bad, he should be in good shape. We do have just really Zap at level 3 black magic.
Oh, this has been beautiful.
And Exfer and Harm 4 at level 3 white magic. So, again, not really something to write home about, but not something you're necessarily... Alright, for a moment there it looked like Edge was contemplating selling off the Coral Sword, but decided against it. Tristal is going to go ahead, looks like, and make that long journey over to Crescent Lake and see if he can get that incredibly convenient floater. Did not stop to check the level 4 magic shops, though.
Nah, he's only level 2, so he's 8 levels off from even being able to learn any of the stuff in there, so I like this decision.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if something like Warp or Exit got shuffled to level 4, you know, you would want to know about it before you get to Ice Cave.
We did see the slab here in Crescent Lake for 8,000.
Let's see, Invis 2 and Wall, it looks like, and Ice 3 and Brack.
Let's hope for a floater here at the Sages. There we go. We got a jet
man.
seed. Well, this isn't going to take long, folks.
Ah, that's right. I forgot we did get Exit out the gate. So yeah, there was no real reason to look at 4.
I was just going to let you sink your own ship there.
Still testing to see if I'm paying attention.
Hey, you got to be happy when you see EXP's here. But he doesn't want to fight him.
Yeah, we did see Heal 3 at level 4 Black Magic, as well as Fire 2, Lit 2, and Quad X.
Interestingly, Tristal not going to the Pirates first, gonna check Sarda out. And he has a Vanilla Rod. Is this even randomized? Who rolled this seed? Tristal. Trying to crush the Titan's tunnel.
Yeah, it's one of those things. He'll probably hit Pirates when he's toward the Power Gauntlet and Titans. Okay. So, you know, I wasn't quite ready to call it a Jet Seed. This is going to be a Jet Seed. But the only thing... we haven't seen Fast yet, right?
No, Fast was level 1, too.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was Fast or Temper at level 1. Yeah, this is a Jet Seed. There is nothing to...
And a ribbon.
With a ribbon on top. We are one in-game sword away from this basically being... Well, I don't need to check anything else. In the meantime, Edgefigaro is about to be picking up his floater and probably is going to follow a similar route to Tristal, checking all these free spots before dealing with the pirates. They are still a little bit skimpy on AoE damage, so that may be part of the reason that they're not heading toward the pirates yet.
We have a flame sword picked up here, so it's a little bit better.
We're inching closer. It's not quite the ice sword, so... You know, I don't think that they're, even with the power bonk in hand, they're going to be willing to take that to the end game, but, you know, Ice Sword and level 1 fast, that almost, I know, would tempt some runners to just go, let's just gun for it.
Will we see a sub 110?
Well, there's that AoE that we were looking for. Zeus Gauntlet in hand.
The poor white mage has something to do now. And Tristal does not class change.
Never mind! Tristal, remembering that he has the tail, doubles back. Which actually is really good, because that'll mean later on he can just slap that Zeus Gauntlet onto his red mage if he doesn't feel like putting a probe ring on him.
Yeah, you kind of got a lot of your money that you'll need for your early spells in the Cardi Isles, so you're kind of happy right now.
Edgefigaro, meanwhile, immediately remembering he has the tail, and so our runners are going to have a quick high five.
It's like, hi guys! Alright, interested to see where Tristal goes now. I'm guessing it's going to be Bicky. He's going to check out that level 2 love, and then make a routing decision from there where he wants to go. He's only level 2. Actually, I think both runners are only level 2, so this... it'll be interesting to see where they go to get their levels to step into the next progression area.
I'm going to guess that we'll probably see a volcano dip from one or both of them. They don't need Ice Cave immediately. It has progression for them, but it's not anything that's blocking their progress like if it had the floater in it.
Wow, you're really sad if you're these two right now. You have no AoE magic except for Harm 3 and Harm 4.
Yeah, that level 2 ruse, though, is going to be nice for the end game if they don't find the defense sword anywhere. You know, you can slap that on your knight, and he can at least defend himself on some of the fights like Kraken 2 and Tiamat 2.
Yeah, the Invis 2 spell was slot 1 in level 6. I'm not sure if that's Red Mage learnable, because Red Mages are terrible, but that'll be interesting if they don't find the defense sword.
You know, Papa, you're going to make this a long hour if you keep talking about the Red Mages like this.
Do you like the Vorpal sword too?
I will use the Vorpal sword if I have it. I'm one of those guys that tends to put Excalibur on his knight and Nazmune on his Red Mage.
Alright, we do have the bottle sighting from Bicky. So the pirate in Onrak, no, not Onrak, in Gaia stole the fairy and then gave it to Bicky.
Yeah, no, I mean, at least it's a consistent pirate conspiracy against fairy kind.
So what did we see an AoE spell in level 4 for the red or the black mage? Or?
Just Lit 2 and Fire 2, I believe. So, that Zeus Gauntlet is probably going to see a lot of work this seed.
Like, holy crap.
Yeah, like, that early fast and that early power bonk are probably going to be welcomed by these runners. Melmond is, once again, probably our last hope for any kind of long-term solution.
Yeah, because we did see Ice 3 in level 6, but you're most likely only going to get a handful of, 3 or 4 charges of that, and that's certainly not getting you through the end game the way you want, like level 1 nuke to carry you.
And did Edge not pick up that Zeus Gauntlet? Because he's not using it on the pirates.
He had to have. It was in Corneria Islands.
He may have skipped over the cave it was in.
I mean, the Zardia Islands.
You know, it's one of those things, both these runners know who they're up against, and they both may have just kind of been rushing through those free chests. Tristal going ahead and getting some of these Peninsula power fights up here near Lefane. Alright, chat confirming Edge did pick up the Zeus Gauntlet. What were you going to say, Papa?
I do like this decision by Tristal. It's guaranteed you could possibly get a undead encounter, which is lucrative in experience, so I do like this move here.
Yeah, we did see Harm 4, and if he picked that up, that's going to come in handy. And alright, so he just wanted to grab a quick fight there, and then he's going to move on. I guess that makes sense, considering he doesn't have the slab translated yet. Or the slab, for that matter.
Yeah, they do have the money for that. It's $8,000 Renos.
Yeah, so he is going to go ahead and get Tier 4 and Ruse on his knight. Not a bad decision, I'd say. Question in chat. Geez, class change already? Yes, class change already. The princess had the tail and the king had the canoe, while the sage had the floater. So they were able to class change very quickly.
We sometimes like to make these events quick.
Absolutely. So, Edgefigaro going back for his slab, and Tristal is going ahead and picking up some levels in gold for his trouble. So, unless Edge also makes the decision to go ahead and do a little bit of power leveling, you know, he may be the first one to make a decisive move. Which, he's level 4, he probably is going to do the same thing. Looks like he's probably heading toward Melman, so we'll get to see what that level 5 magic looks like. Ah, there's our life spell. I knew there was something we didn't have yet.
Hey, we can't give everybody the charity right out the gate.
Fire 3, Temper, and Lit 3 waiting at level 5. So there is our damage dealing potential. Okay, Papa, where was the slab?
Crescent Lake.
Oh, right! That was the shop item, you're right. Alright, we're good now. So, Edge remembering to go ahead and translate his slab. Yeah, forgive me, I had a little bit of a moment there.
Now this is just kind of showing Tristal's knowledge of the game. I mean, they've got no AoE spell except for the Harm 3, Harm 4, and you see Tristal going right to Peninsula Power and gaining these levels, because this is really the only efficient spot you can go at this point. You've got the Zeus Gauntlet, but that's not really going to cut up these high-end, you know, like this EXP fight here is going to be really hard for him with... with just the Zeus Gauntlet to do AoE.
Yeah, the flip side to it, though, is if he can make it through, that's going to make up a lot of these levels he doesn't have yet. That's a big if, though.
Well, if your Zeus Gauntlet holder's dead, it's really, really difficult.
Yeah, look, I expect that Edge is probably going to make a similar play toward the Peninsula Power, or the Lefane area, whichever you prefer to think of it as. Somewhere where he, has the possibility of getting those levels that encounters that he can harm down. Tristal finally making that move over to the level 4 spells, and he is also going to be disappointed. Although that heal 3 at level 4 is really nice to see.
Yeah, and I mean, even here in level 4, you've got XXX, Lit 2, and Fire 2.
And Bane.
It'll be interesting to see how the runners prioritize the AoE damage spells over these instant death spells like XXX, and then in level 5, do you just take Temper because Temper has such a high value as an offensive spell in Temple of Fiends Revisited, or are they going to prioritize the level 3 AoE spells?
I feel like we're probably going to see Temper and Fire and Lit 3 picked up for sure. Fire 3 may also be on the table, but it has a little less value with the levels they're going to have before they even dip Ice Cave. I do have to agree with Fuchsia Fantasy down in chat. This is some very rancid black magic.
Oh, this is almost unquestionably the worst we've ever seen. In the Swiss flags, at least.
But if anyone can make it work, it's probably these two runners. So Tristal's going to go ahead and make his Ordeal's Dip. We know that both runners are going to need to come here because one of our progression items is locked in the incentive chest here.
See, and you make fun of me for Double Fighter, but look how good Double Fighter would be right now with this magic selection.
Well, we still haven't really seen much in the way of equipment. Like, the best two swords we have are Flame and Coral. However, Edge looks like he's going to try and fix that. He went and picked up the Chime. He's dipping into Mirage. And immediately getting trampled by Nightmares. Or Nightmare.
Oh, he's certainly getting trampled. This is not looking good right now. Only level 4. Actually, his White Mage is only level 1.
Well, with that long run he has, yeah, I think his White Mage went down to one of those experience fights. Gargoyles, meanwhile, being rude as heck.
I only saw a couple of those chests, but we do have the Mage Staff. Woo! Baby!
I hope you like level 2 AoE damage spells, folks, because that's basically all we have.
Oh yeah, this seed has been an absolute load of hot garbage for black magic AoE style.
Yeah, the only saving grace right now is that long run right after Power Cycle. But yeah, with the chests we've seen so far, Fuchsia Fantasy raising an interesting point in chat. Will this finally be the seed where someone decides to go with Cat Claw strats? I mean, probably not, because I think Cat Claw strats may be the meanest of mean strats. But it is technically on the table at all times. Edgefigaro opting to dig out Armory as Tristal finally gets through the pillar maze here in Ordeals.
Whoa, hold up. I'm gonna need you to stop yawning, okay? Calm it down there, buddy.
Okay, I am trying, alright?
We do have the Adamant here, so we have a real weapon. Can throw that Vorpal sword on the ground and a crown.
Yeah, so that is definitely good news for both of these runners, because there's no way that Edgefigaro is going to be missing that adamant. The only question is, how long will it be before he makes his Ordeals dive? First, he's got to make it out of the volcano. So Edge really needs to take a moment and just get some experience on these characters. I think he's still at level 4 with his highest level party members.
Yeah, this is just Edge is putting himself in a disadvantageous spot.
Well, he is at least picking a fight, and he does have a little extra AoE thanks to that Mirage dip.
Yeah, but the bad thing is the one person you want alive keeps dying.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem.
Tristal's made his way out of Castle Ordeals. You've also noticed Edge is not really taking advantage of that first big encounter.
Yeah. One of the disadvantages that we're really having, that he's really seeing, though, with not doing that, is he doesn't know that he can just go grind some zombies. And I suspect we're going to see Tristal heading into Sea Shrine here in a couple of minutes. He's going to go ahead and go get his waterfall item, and that will almost... Oh, right, he hasn't been to Ice Cave yet. So he'll be one item away from complete go mode once he gets the robot item here.
Yeah, so we know the cube is in one location and loot's in the other, in our two incentivized spots. And Ice Cave is definitely probably the one you want to do last.
And chat raising an interesting point. It looks like Edge may be opting to just give up on the White Wizard and get some levels on the rest of his party. We know with the selection of spells and gear they have, this may actually work out in his favor, but it's still an interesting decision.
Yeah, and you see the red mage is down on Tristal's side. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but you're 25 minutes in and your White Wizard's only level 1, so I mean, why even bother now? Just keep him dead.
Yeah. And it's one of those things I wouldn't blame Edge for making that move. He definitely has to feel like he's got an XP disadvantage right now.
Edge is going to give us our first peek into the Ice Cave.
Yeah, going by some of what Tristal's been seeing, I don't know how friendly this Ice Cave is going to be, but we'll see very shortly.
Well, it's nice because Edge has the mage staff, so that fire 2 is really going to help in here to go along with the harm 3 of the red mage. The Red Wizard, I don't know, did he pick up harm? Did he go back and get it? That's the real question.
I think we did see harm get picked up on Edge's side. I'm not sure if Edge picked up harm. I know Tristal did. He does find a black shirt in the waterfall, as well as the Vorpal sword. So between the Zeus Gauntlet, the black shirt, and the Vorpal sword, he is not going to see Shrine. He's going to go ahead and duck out. And chat having a bit of a moment, trying to decide whether Tristal has won or lost the match on the basis of picking up that Vorpal sword and not immediately throwing it away. But he's going to go ahead and go do his crown check, deal with Astos, go the whole 9 yards. He has not picked up his Red Wizard yet, though, which, given the situation with the spells, as much as I'm an advocate for the red, Okay. I forgot he had the quad X on that black mage. But, yeah, it's definitely one of those things where, with the spells available, letting that red wizard stay dead might not be the worst decision.
Yeah, you see the three-man strategy kind of paying off in spades here. The no... Interesting he's not checking these chests. He's already up to level 10, quickly catching Tristal.
Yeah, I was going to say, with the Vorpal and the Excal pickup, he can at least put some damage on the out with the red mage swinging.
He just needs to throw the Vorpal in the trash where it belongs. Fly over the volcano and drop it in.
Well, we at least pick up another pro ring, so that it's always nice to see pro rings. It's good absorb for your party. So Tristal with that key goes ahead and picks the red mage back up. So he probably just was waiting until he knew he was going into Elfland to get the red mage on his feet. Meanwhile, I'm not sure we've really seen too much here in Ice Cave to write home about.
No, Ice Cave has been pretty timid.
Yeah, but it's at least giving Edge a chance to pick up some of those much-needed levels, as well as, you know, filling out his inventory a little bit. In any case, Tristal now has his Excalibur. So he is probably quite pleased there.
Yeah, with the weapon fixes on the Excalibur's a great weapon. It gives the sword. It exploits everybody's weakness in the game, which makes it just a great sword to pick up early.
And we see a Banesword pickup in the Dwarf Cave as well, so that may come in handy farther down the line, especially with our damage-dealing situation being as it is.
The Tristal is trying to kill the community count is up to 3. He's now almost crashed into Corneria, Matoya's Cave, and Provoca.
Look, man. I don't know where you're from, but I don't think that Tristal really has, much of an opportunity to get an airship piloting license before he got his airship. So, there's going to be some mistakes made. It is a learning process, and at the end of the day, it's for the greater good.
I don't know if you had the opportunity to watch the Wilcliosis versus Tristal match, where both of them almost single-handedly killed Melmond, infinitely worse than the vampire ever could have.
Yeah, no, I remember that. And I maintain, I'd like to see how well you fly an ancient piece of technology that you dug out of the desert yesterday.
That's right, we'll take out Provoca.
Regardless, Tristal's going to go ahead and clean out his inventory. Max value katana, that is going to go a long way in making sure he can buy whatever else he needs for the rest of this seed.
Yeah, Thief looking better and better as this magic selection was unveiled to us.
In any case, Tristal going ahead and getting that life spell picked up. And probably going to go ahead and fill out his level 5 black magic while he's there. Yeah, I suppose the big vote in favor of Fire 3 is that it is 20% of the price of Lit 3.
And Tristal did grab his slab, so he is able to go get the chime in Lefenia. We will not have any Loopa-Loopa moments. Edge has his cube, and Tristal has the loot, so we'll see both of them, well, maybe we'll see a little route divergence here. They're pretty much neck and neck in the same spot in progression. I don't know. Edge is behind the crown, but other than that, it's even.
Yeah, I think right now Edge's best, well, the best catch-up that Edge has is he is doing this 3-man strategy. And that's going to guarantee that his fighter is going to be probably a little stronger than Tristal's heading into TOFR. But Edge is actually going to be our first one to go ahead and dip a Fiend Dungeon. Now, one thing that is interesting is Edge is keeping that Dead White Wizard in the 3rd slot. Generally speaking, as I understand it, you want to, if you're going with a 3-man strat, you want that second party, that downed party member in the 2nd slot to increase the odds that your lead party member is going to take hits.
Yeah, I believe how the mechanic works is if the enemy rolls a hit on the 2nd slot, it re-rolls. So it basically just takes that 25% chance and re-rolls it. So it doesn't give your lower party members an affinity, a larger affinity to get hit. Probably actually makes it even less so, because you're going to get more 50% chance rolls than you are, the 12.5% that the 3 and 4 slot have.
Mm-hmm. And chat, meanwhile, arguing that Tristal's level lead may already make the Dan advantage for the fighter null and void. Look, I'm trying to find some positives here, people. And Demarine does make the excellent point. Edge does not know what kind of decisions Tristal's made. He just knows what's happened to him. And this is basically the only way he can overcome the disadvantage that he's been at because of some of the early wipes he took.
Yeah, but if Tristal, I think Tristal's only 12, your Edge is going to go 10 to 20 as quick, if not quicker, than Tristal's going to take 4 from 12 to 20, so...
Yeah, that's the thing, is Tristal did do that early grind, but he has not been taking fights since then.
I don't think you can switch the red and the white mage, because then it screws up his party. The names are, very specific. Vampire hiding a solid 172 gold. What a troll.
Look, sometimes you just have to evoke the Macho Randy, Man Savage. Edgefigaro finding some opal armor. That's going to be good news for his knight. If only because, that's some absorb that's going to be handy in the end game. Obviously, we want to find that dragon armor, but until we do, well, almost not the worst thing you can have available to strap on. Tristal, though, just getting these Pede fights left and right in the top level of Volcano.
He's got to be loving this.
He might. I mean, it's one of those things where I think he'd at least like the option of getting to avoid these fights. But the unrunnable peds just means he's got to take these fights.
I believe the dragon armor and the opal armor have the same absorb, just the protections are different. So if you have the ribbon on the fighter, then getting either or is as good. And I think it's the same for the Aegis shield and the opal shield.
It is, but it's one of those things, if you have that dragon armor and Aegis shield going, then it does at least give you the option to move that ribbon onto another character.
Yeah, and we see the opal got the treasure trove here, the armory, as we've come to call it, is just stacked. Aegis shield, opal bracelet, I mean, we're ready to go. Opal shield as well, opal helmet as well, like, this is one happy fighter.
Absolutely, but we are finally getting to our Lich fight. And it looks like Edge is going to go ahead, get a little power bonk going on, while his mages soften up Lich for the fighter to just finish him off.
Is this even randomized? Lich opens with ice too?
I mean, it has to happen eventually.
And fire too? This is vanilla. Who rolled this?
Well, either way, Edgefigaro is the first one out of a Fiend dungeon. He has his Earth Orb lit.
Gonna get his Sea Life 1 is level 5, and I don't know if you're happy or sad to see that at this point.
I mean, it's one of those things, if I'm not mistaken, that is a Red Mage learnable spot, or Red Wizard learnable spot. So Edge, I'm sure, is not unhappy to at least see a life spell that he can use. In the meantime, though, it looks like Edge is going to go ahead and dive Volcano. It'll be interesting to see how much of it he decides to sack versus how much he decides, I've dug enough, I'm going.
He very easily could go through this armory and be like, yeah, no, I'm good now.
Absolutely. And that is something he's just going to go ahead and slap that Aegis shield and opal armor on. And he is in a very satisfied position. Yeah, he's going to be picking up that opal bracelet here in a second. We very well may see him decide, I'm good, I'm just going to move on with my life. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and exit out with this. I will not be surprised if he just heads straight down from here.
I'm right there with you, and Crystal is going to continue to check chests. So we'll see if he finds anything very nice down here in this second part of the volcano.
Yeah, I have to wonder what Tristal's still digging for at this point. Do you think he's looking for a second ribbon, or maybe something a little sturdier than the ice armor for his fighter?
Yeah, I'd most likely say the second ribbon. Although if we see Edge not check any more chests, you know, he's at a risk only having the one ribbon. It's going to be sketchy come Temple of Fiends time. And we do have a dead fighter on Tristal's side. I wonder what the Agama was packing.
We've seen some really severe Agamas in the last couple of rounds. And yeah, Edge is going to go ahead and clear out this floor. There's a lot of chests down here. That's not a bad move. And he can pick up a few spike tile fights along the way.
Yep, we do have to keep in the back of our mind Edge is still has a couple incentivized locations that he needs to go to. Having not checked Sarda or... Now, where was the crown?
The crown was, I think, wasn't that the incentive chest in Ordeals?
You're right.
Alright, chat is catching us up. The Agama had Quad X. Yeah, Edge did go to Sarda. He hasn't been to Waterfall or Ordeals yet. Which, as we now know, that's where our two, respectively good swords were.
I only saw the Excalibur. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, when you're with the black magic we've got at our disposal, and a red mage as our secondary attacker, that Vorpal sword is actually really nice to have. I know there is this whole holy war going on, but... Edge, meanwhile, is not giving the Agamas a chance to do anything rude. He is just quad-Xing them and moving on with his life.
It's a good idea. It's a efficient strategy, and we're not going to get a check of the Red Dragon chest. The Fun Police have been hiding some stuff lately.
Yeah, considering Tristal's movements in the volcano so far, he might opt to go ahead and check it, although having lost at least one fight... No, he is doing some Agama fighting. I guess he considers the risk of getting insta-jibbed by them to be worth the XP from them.
Well, they do have a lot of experience, though. Or not experience, a lot of health.
Alright, Edge gearing up for this carry fight. Finally moving that white wizard up. I guess he is afraid Carrie might have something nasty waiting on all those hits.
Norishta pointing out the obvious in chat that everybody would rather have the wooden staff than the Vorpal.
Well, regardless of what y'all think, Tristal is going to go check this dragon chest.
I think it would be a disrespect to the Dragon Warrior community if Tristal did not see what the Fun Police had in store.
This is a very fair point.
We do have the Zap strats going on over here, and I don't know why, but... This fight will go a lot... Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm getting the impression that this carry is a lot hardier than Edge was necessarily expecting. Because he's taken a few swings after putting a couple of bonks on his fighter, and carry is just holding up.
We get the Quad X Extermination. 2 orbs down for Edgefigaro. We'll see where he decides to go next.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, Tristal can close the orb gap very easily. So it's one of those things, it is still a fairly even race, because Edge is going to need to go to Ordeals, he's going to need to go to Waterfall. He probably will be combining his Waterfall with Sea Shrine, though. He's not going to need to worry about heading back up to Onrak.
I would not be surprised if we see Edge just go Sky Cave now, and then route in Ordeals.
That is certainly an option, or he could go Waterfall Sea Shrine. He can afford to spread out his dungeon dips a little bit more, although he probably will not be happy to find that adamant if Ordeals is one of the last places he goes. So Edge is going to go ahead and make his purchases. And yeah, I forgot that Tristal has not been to Ice Cave yet. So he's going to need to take a few minutes to dig through, because I do not believe we have seen Warp at all. Or if we have, it was pretty high level. And it looks like you called it, Papa. Edge is going to head over to Ordeals.
Yeah, this just makes the most sense to do these two together and then do the Waterfall and the Sea Shrine together.
Yeah, that is a good point. I guess your thinking is along the lines of, you can very quickly get down to Kraken if you don't care about digging any chests out in Sea Shrine.
Yeah, and you have a larger density of chests in the Mirage and Sky, so it definitely makes more sense to check that first if you're still looking for a second ribbon.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I suspect that Edge is not going to want to spend too much more time taking fights. He probably already feels behind thanks to some of those early struggles he had dipping into Volcano and a couple other dungeons. So he may be trying to pick options that will let him get that experience on the move with his 3-man strat. I don't think Edge actually checked these other 2 chests here on the eye floor, so Tristal is checking undiscovered country here.
Yeah, I don't believe he checked the Frost Dragon chests either.
And I would be shocked if Tristal didn't go ahead and make that dip as well.
Or we did see him do the 6?
Yeah, he did do the 6
chests.
And yeah, this Pillar Maze giving Edge about as much trouble as it gave Tristal. And all the dragons are guarding was a heel helmet and a house, so Edge did not lose out on too much with the decisions he's made so far and what to skip out on.
Yeah, this is a really, really good close race.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, these two are almost certain to wind up hitting TOFR within minutes of each other at most.
I really think the interesting dynamic of round 4 is going to be that if you're in the 2-1 bracket, in the 1-2 bracket, in the 3-0 bracket, there are definitely people that you don't want to see win and you don't want to see lose, because 3-1 and 2-2 going into round 5 it's going to be disgusting.
Oh, absolutely. And these two are just one example of, what you're going to be up against when you get there. So, and I think it's one of those things. I think anyone who's trying to get into the brackets realizes that that's what they're dealing with. So, Edge has picked up his crown, has picked up his adamant. We'll see if he loiters around here at the zombie dragon fight for any appreciable amount of time. Or if he's going to take his crown, hop on the throne, and get out of here.
Alright, we do have a boat.
It'll be nice for that post-chaos kill pleasure cruise, and Edge not even wasting the time to walk out of Ordeals. He is just going to exit and go.
They like this decision. So it'll be interesting, what else does he check? He's got the gear. I mean, he's not lacking in armor in any way, shape, or form. So the real question is he just looking for a ribbon, or is he done? Is he just in pure go mode now that he's got that Excalibur, which he is going to go in exchange with the dwarves to make a little deal, or he's going to go to Southwest Castle.
He's at least going to turn in that crown. Not sure if he's going to go ahead and do the whole chain. He may go ahead and get the key just so he can check those dwarf chests while turning in the adamant. And I didn't even catch that Savage went down.
Poor Savage.
Tristal, meanwhile, opting to go ahead and grind on the eye.
Yeah, Tristal has definitely made a lot of interesting decisions. Although he was talking about this the other day, saying, if you've got spell charges and exit, it's worth throwing those excess spell charges here, where the eye is a very high value experience monster.
And usually pretty fragile. So Tristal is going to pick up some levels here, but, while he is gaining levels, Edgefigaro is making progress. He's catching up on the keychain, and, Tristal only has lit his fire orb so far, and I don't know. It's one of those things where, even though really the only difference right now between these two runners is a trip to the waterfall and a trip to Earth Cave, respectively, it's still a situation where I don't think either one of them really has time to spare.
Yeah, Tristal had the early lead, but Edge has done an excellent job closing that gap. This race is so close right now, and as Edge goes through the progression, and he's up one orb but down one progression location, so they're really neck and neck, and it's just going to be a matter of who checks excess chests to find that second ribbon.
Yeah, as we expected, though, Edge is going to combine his Dwarf Cave check. He did skip over Northwest Castle, so these may be the last keylock chests he takes a peek through. And yeah, he did bring his White Wizard back up. He may be hoping that he can get this White Wizard through one fight in one of these later game dungeons, and use that experience to sort of carry the wizard to a point where they can take a hit. That or he just wants a meat tank for heading through the waterfall. One of the two.
I wonder if he picked up the life spell on that white mage, and maybe he's going to try to grab a few levels.
Well, we'll find out here shortly. Remembering he needs to actually put the Excalibur on his knight.
Squinty mud goals.
And yeah, he is going to take this fight and try to get that experience for the White Wizard. And yeah, the squints are definitely coming into play. By which I mean, making sure that they're not swatting the White Mage, and there is a heat dropping the White Wizard.
Poor Edge can't keep Randy alive to save his life.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's understandable that you want to be able to at least have some spell charges on your White Wizard, but I think at a certain point you just need to go, this is just not going to work. The game is not going to let me have this White Wizard. Tristal checking some of these top-level chests. I think Edge ran right past them. So I think coming out of these two checks here, knowing that Tristal is almost certainly going to be checking the chests in Earth Cave as he goes, I think Edge has a slight lead, although Tristal does have a few more levels on his party.
Yeah, this is... at the start, we were kind of like, all right, Tristal made all the right plays. He chose the absolute best grind spot and has had far less wipes. Where, Edge was like, wiping, didn't know where to go, didn't know where to get levels, and now it's kind of balanced out, and Edge is definitely, depending on how this Temple of Fiends Revisited is definitely going to give Tristal a run for his money.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things. I think right now, like I said, Tristal has that level advantage, and he does skip out on a few of the chests here in Earth. So it's one of those things, he can theoretically punch through some of these dungeons faster than Edge can. But Edge is getting a head start in these dungeons, and he is picking up fights along the way and getting that experience without needing to necessarily slow down too much. Now, I think Tristal's sitting at level 18 with his party. Edge is at level 16 with his. So, all that Tristal's grinding has maybe given him a couple of minutes worth of combat on Edge.
Yeah, but I mean, as we can see, if this
bat doesn't get out of the way, all the speculation is going to be for nothing.
Yeah, right. The bat is. I miss the bats down here. They were so nice in Trolley.
Well, a few of them are still there, so... there's our level 7 warp. Yeah, it does look like Edge is making the move to Sea Shrine.
Alright, I really like this. Gonna save the Sky Castle last. It'll just be, does he check chest, or is he in go mode? Is the real question here.
Well, I think it's going to depend on if he gets any of those warp charges before he gets to Sky Castle. There are a few chests that are relatively convenient to check if you can just warp back to the entrance of the floor. But it is one of those things, if he doesn't check any chests for the remainder of the game, I think he still will feel comfortable diving Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's the second ribbon safety, but you do what you do.
Yeah, it's one of those things, yeah, it's nice to have that second ribbon, but at the end of the day, you already have the power bunk, you have fast, readily accessible. You can power through a lot of the Temple of Fiends Revisited without needing to necessarily worry about the protection the ribbon can give you. And the worst case scenario, you slap the ribbon on your knight and you just power your way through the last couple of battles.
Nothing good in these first two free chests.
Yeah. We'll probably see Edge dip into Sharknado Room, not actually touch the spike tile, and then go ahead and clean out Kraken. Edge is definitely in a state of, if he finds something good, he'll take it, but he is not going to dig. Chat asking the question if Edge did pick up fast. I'm reasonably certain both of our runners grabbed fast. It was pretty cheap, I'm almost certain. But
yeah,
there's a second ribbon.
Yeah, we do have a free second ribbon. This is definitely go mode now.
Absolutely, and that is going to be in Edge's favor because he knows he doesn't need to bother checking anything else. Whereas Tristal is going to probably keep checking things until he until he gets that ribbon. And if he opts to go to Mirage before Sea Shrine, that could be bad news for Tristal. Alright, so apparently we are lacking a ribbit, or are lacking fast on Edge's characters. He'll probably grab that before he dives Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, it was level 1, so it's, you know, it's right there in Corneria. It'll be quick to grab it and go.
Yeah. And catching these unrunnable fights, not the worst thing that can happen to Edge right now. It's giving him a chance to pick up some extra experience. And yeah, he's already up to level 17 on a couple of his party members.
Yeah, what sucks is that makes the water floor of Temple of Fiends not fun.
I'm sure one of them will catch a hero run to keep this even. Yeah, so Tristal easily dispatches Lich, and this is kind of a moment of truth for him. We're reasonably certain he's still trying to dig out a second ribbon. So if he goes to Sea Shrine next, he'll get that second ribbon and he'll be in go mode. If he heads to Mirage Tower, that could be trouble, but it looks like he is going Sea Shrine, so this is good for Tristal.
Yeah, he's going to be real glad he does this. Now, if he goes Mermaid side first, he might be a little upset, but...
Yeah, I think at that point we're going to have to change his name to TristalMTG.
Might be Gangster?
Oh, I was trying to combine Tristal and Joker's screen names. It probably didn't work as well as it could. Anyway, Kraken. So at this point, though, Edge has about a dungeon lead on Tristal. And Tristal still, I think, only has a 2 to 3 level advantage on Edge. So, next up we are going to have Sky, and Edge does have one advantage here over Tristal in that he's already checked this first floor of Mirage. Tristal's probably not even going to bother checking first floor, but if he is tempted, that will play to Edge's favor.
Yeah, this could be a really, really, really quick Mirage Tower in Sky Fortress.
Yeah, I doubt we're going to see Edge dip to floor 2 of Mirage. I also can't see him really looking anywhere except those 4 greed chests right before you hit the teleporter floor. Unrunnable vampire fight, though. You know what just occurred to me, though? Why are there so many vampires living in the middle of the desert?
It's a fantastic question.
I mean, I guess there's no running water around to restrict their motion, but it's still a desert.
I mean, it's very Melmond-esque, so maybe that's why?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's already blighted, so it's got to feel pretty homey, but I don't know. The things you think about when you're just kind of watching people go. And Edge does go ahead and put that Vorpal sword on his red mage.
But we got trance guards with poison touch and expert. This could be ugly.
Yeah, and Edge is not even going to bother staying to fight.
No, that's unfortunate because that five guard fight is god tier in experience.
Yeah, but it's just, I completely understand why he would just go ahead and go. You know, it's a decent amount of experience, but for the time investment, you could take out a couple of vampire fights and probably make up the difference.
So it's quite humorous that the vampires are unrunnable in here, as they usually are runnable this second time through.
Yeah, Tristal's got his second ribbon, and I'll be surprised if we see him checking more than a couple of chests from this point forward. Axel Higgs in chat arguing that the people of Lefane actually locked the vampires in this tower and sealed it with the chime. And it turns out that the Light Warriors actually have unleashed them on the world. Jay Coper asking what the level difference is right now. And I believe Tristal is sitting somewhere around 19 or 20, while Edgefigaro is around 18 right now. Might be 21. I admit I haven't really been paying too much attention to Tristal's level growth since he got into Sea Shrine.
Yeah, it's really close, like within 3 levels. The real question will be is if Tristal gets much higher entering into Temple of Fiends, will he try to hit 24 on the night and make that bad boy have 5 hits with the Excalibur?
I mean, it's one of those things. Well, I don't know if I don't think Tristal feels behind at this point. He has to know that if his opponent made an early Sea Shrine play, Edge would not have been checking any chests. We know that Edge only recently hit Sea Shrine, but yeah, Tristal may not want to take that time because he may realize that his opponent may have been in go mode for a good little while. Yeah, it looks like Edge, for the most part, is just going to take every fight he can here in Sky Castle, get up to that 2021 range, and probably call it good. Question in chat, who called this a jet seed? Everyone!
I mean, if you're going sub 125, which is absolutely doable still by both runners, that's definitely jet.
Tristal still checking chests. I mean, this isn't the worst check to make, but Tristal making these, still checking these chests. I don't know what he's still hunting for.
Maybe he's being greedy, wants 3rd ribbon? I don't know at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, but every chest he checks is giving Edgefigaro time to get ahead, time to get some extra fights in.
Let's go, Warmech. Alright, guys, get your blessed RNGs in chat for a Warmech sighting. There we go, Rainbow Poogle. Rainbow Poogle says, if I don't get to see my mermaids, I definitely want to see a gigantic robot chicken.
Yeah, I guess after her race with Joker, I guess they're her mermaids now. He kind of gave them up.
But I thought he won. I thought that was the concession, is the winner of the race got the girls.
Yeah, but he ignored them in favor of trying to win the race. So I think they're Poogle's girls at this point. And yeah, those unrunnable airs are not something you want to see. Although, thankfully, Airfloor is basically the shortest one in the Temple of Fiends. And Tristal going ahead and checking floor 2 of Mirage.
This greater than less than room, we'll see what it yields.
Ah, it has the dragon armor.
Yeah, but we got that second ribbon, so... Oh, and the white shirt. Okay, that's a pretty big find.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, this is definitely going to give Tristal a defensive advantage, but if we have a soft Temple of Fiends revisited, this is just time that he may not be able to afford to lose. And Edgefigaro just bracks Tiamat and moves on with his life. So he is out. So Edgefigaro's got all 4 orbs lit.
Meme strats incoming. Brackamat down.
And did Edge actually manage to pick up some levels on his white mage? I think he did. So yeah, it's looking like at this point, Tristal kind of needs Temple of Fiends Revisited to have a little bit of teeth to him, because, you know, Edge does have a little less safety than Tristal does, a couple of less levels, and that's about the only thing. And Edge still is at a very comfortable level to make this Temple of Fiends dive. The other question is this White Wizard going to see double digits this seed?
Well, he needs to see double digits if he wants to have a chance at a life spell charge.
Well, I'm not even sure Edge has life on that White Wizard.
Oh, Edge did not buy the fast spell? Uh-oh.
Oh,
This is
dear.
bad.
Well, he's got that power bonk, so it's not the end of the world. It's still... You can still see it from here, though. Tristal's still digging chests. He must be after that Masamune.
Now I'm just starting to scratch my head. Like, why?
Nothing really of note in the validation chests, and Edge is through the stone slab. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Tristal remembers to go back and get that fast spell, or if he also decides to just go for it. Alliger Brap in chat theorizing that Maza was with the mermaids.
Yep, or the dreaded marsh cave, one of the two, but, you know, I'm hoping it's with the ladies.
Alright, chat saying that Tristal may have already picked up fast. It's one of those things with the poor spell selection, it's kind of hard to keep track of what spells folks have because they're not opening their magic menu ever.
Yeah, at this point, if the white mage is up on Edge's side, it's just to take a hit.
Pretty much. And that's not the worst thinking in the world. You have that character you're not really doing anything with. It can save your offensive casters a hit. And Lich 2 goes down about as quickly as Lich 1 did.
Yep. Yeah, unrunnable airs.
Yep, and Agama's also had Cure and Slow. So yeah, these were not a good enemy to grind. Oh, but the giant Agama group is unrunnable.
Yuck.
Yeah, that's a little bit disgusting. Alright, so chat affirming that we are seeing fast on both his mages, and I just saw that as well. And we have a Warmech sighting on Tristal's side, folks. Now, the one advantage of picking these fights with Warmech...
Robot chicken!
Papa, I think you're a little bit behind me. You might want to refresh your commentary stream. But the advantage of taking that Warmech fight is you at least get to see a few things that are not going to be in the Temple of Fiends.
Well, I saw ice too. Is there anything else terrible?
There was a stop as well, so we know that those are at least off the table. Which actually is probably not very good, because this is two of the spells you want to see in Temple of Fiends.
Rainbow Poogle's prayers have been answered.
And Tristal brings down Tiamat 1 and is on his way to the Temple of Fiends Revisited. So Edge has about a 2 Fiend floor lead at this point. But Tristal has now probably 3 or 4 levels on Edge and the fast spell. So this is going to come down to the wire, and his fighter gets taken down by Carry too, but Edge is able to pick him up really easily. Has to spend some time with those heal potions thanks to not really having that White Wizard spells available. Yeah, it's one of those things Tristal absolutely can catch up at this point. Edge is going to have longer fights. He's going to have... mostly the longer fights. He's going to have to spend more time healing up between fiends. And, you know, if any of these fiends rolled dangerous stats, Edge does not really have the ability to overcome them. I'm thinking, you know, high evade, high absorb.
Really good hero run here to crack him.
And that's what Edge needed. We, you know, his biggest shot right now is going to be, you know, if Tristal just gets into some fights that just waste his time. But yeah, we're about to see what Kraken 2 has on deck. Edge has to stop and think about it for a second. He's got 1 life charge left, and he is opting to hold on to that spell charge. Does wall up, so his 3 characters he actually cares about will be able to hopefully survive anything that Kraken 2 here throws out. Knock on wood.
I'm curious if... okay, yeah, that answered my question. I was going to ask if the White Mage picked up Cure 4 because it was level 2, but he did, so that's good. That's really fortunate.
Mm-hmm. And if by some strange twist of fate, this White Mage survives this Kraken fight, then, you know, that'll actually be really nice for Edge. And that Inferno guarantees the White Mage is not going to survive this Kraken 2 fight. And with 1 life charge left, I doubt we're going to see... Never mind, with no life charges left, Edge is not going to be continuing with... is not going to be picking the White Mage up. So, this is hero mode time for Edgefigaro. He has a Knight, he has a Black Mage, and he has 1 more Fiend, and then the big man himself to go.
Poogle lets us know Lich had Nuclear.
Yeah, Tristal has the levels to survive that. But, you know, gets a little bit slowed down by those stun touch Grey Worms. And Edge is to Tiamat 2. And he's just going to have to spray and pray with the Bane Sword while he power bonks up his Knight. And Nuclear out of Tiamat 2. Black Mage still up, and Fighter's just going to have to go ahead and spend a turn Cure 4ing. And Fighter down for Edgefigaro. Oh, and he takes a wipe to Tiamat 2. Advantage is now to Tristal. Question in chat. Did Edgefigaro opt out of Fast and Temper because of the Power Gauntlet? We do not know. He may have just forgotten about Fast.
Edge trying to take that victory tour. Not going for Temper or Fast again. This is a mistake.
I honestly think at this point he just forgot about those early level spells. But, oh, and Edge is going to take some fights here on the Earth floor. Okay, Edge is going to take a walk around and be reminded that he has that nice long walk at the beginning of the encounter table. Tristal makes it through carry 2. He is now on the water floor. He shouldn't have too much trouble getting through Kraken. Tiamat 2 could present some difficulties, though.
Yeah, right. Definitely think this is now Tristal's race to lose.
Oh, absolutely. And Temple of Fiends is going to have a hard time taking him out. He's got plenty of experience on those mages, plenty of HP to go around. He has the spells he wants for this. He has the items he wants. It turns out that dip into Mirage 2 did make a huge difference. Although Kraken does reach out and touch the red mage.
But he does have that healthy I lied. Now Tristal is in the same predicament.
Yeah, no life charge is available. He's still got to get through these next two battles.
He is 24, has that extra hit on his fighter, But
yeah, it's one of those things. He needs that Black Mage to survive this Tiamat fight if he wants Fast for Chaos. And if I recall correctly, Tiamat does have Nuclear available to her. Is at least going to have Fast available to go to deal with Tiamat.
Yeah, no defensive spells. We did have Roost early and learnable by the Knight, but he did not pick it up.
And that Nuclear takes out the Black Mage. If Tristal makes it through this fight, which he does, he will not have Fast for Chaos.
Nope. And I didn't see, does he have the Roost spell even?
I am not sure. I'm sure if he does, he's going to be breaking it out when he gets to Chaos.
Oh, this is awful.
The unrunnable vampire encounter.
Oh, this could be a wipe. There's no way the Light Axe is going to take out more than a few of these.
Well, they aren't showing anything too bad yet, so... as long as he can endure this round of attacks, he should be able to make it through. Opting for the light axe over taking another, just tearing through the rest of them. And he does make it out with 48 HP. He's got enough heals to patch his fighter up, but definitely not a fight he wanted to see right before Chaos, although that extra level's nice.
Yeah, that's really important.
Alright, no, okay, he did pick up Ruse.
Alright, that's huge.
And thanks to that early class change, he's got plenty of spell charges.
Yeah, you definitely blow 3 on the Ruse here and get all that evasion.
Chaos not showing too much yet, mostly relying on physical attacks, which is good for Tristal. He has already, it looks like, hung a little over 1,000 points on Chaos. Goes ahead and cures up. Chaos not able to do too terribly much here. No crit on that attack. Chaos pulling up the Bane strats. It appears that Chaos has decided to use the meme strats here, but it will do him no good. And Tristal is going to win this race at just under an hour and a half. I believe his official time is 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 15 seconds. So get those GGs into chat. Edge, meanwhile, is going to continue making his way through the fire floor, not going to bother picking his white mage up. But we'll see if we can get Tristal in here in a minute. And Tristal is in chat at least, so we've got that going for us. Oh, that's right. Tristal, I think, has been having some mic issues, maybe? But Tristal is at least in chat with us, so feel free to pepper him with whatever questions you want. In the meantime, Edge has made it back to carry 2, still without Fast in tow. Alright, there's a Tristal. GG, Tristal!
GG. I am still shaking after that. That was insane.
Yeah, Edge probably got into TOFR, I'd say, a good 3 or 4 minutes before you. But he did not pick up the Fast spell.
It was almost 10 minutes. He was on Kraken 2 when you entered.
Alright. Shows how much I perceive time, but he did not pick up Fast on either of his mages.
Yeah, lucky me, I guess, for going back to get it. It was a little expensive at the beginning, so I guess you just had to remember it was there.
Yeah, and I suspect, and we'll probably find out from him once he gets in here, whether or not he just forgot that it was there, or if that was a deliberate choice because he didn't feel like he had time to go back and get it. But yeah, how about all of that black magic? I believe it was Fuchsia who referred to the black magic selection this seed as quote-unquote rancid.
Yeah, that's not entirely inaccurate, but level 1 Fast saves the day, I think, so... Yeah, wow. Like I said, I'm still shaking from that. That was tense.
Yeah, no, that was everything I think we kind of expected out of the race between you two. It came down to just you made the right calls in terms of spell selection, and you made folks a little bit nervous with how much grinding you were doing. Mostly because while you were grinding, Edge was just clearing things out.
Yeah, I knew it would be a little bit slow, but due to the poor spell selection, not just black magic, white magic was pretty lackluster as well, aside from Cure 4. But yeah, I was kind of worried. Also, doing a lot more of the half of the go mode searching, because Mazmune really would have just put a ribbon on everything, no pun intended. So I was really hoping to get that, but obviously I didn't need the defense sword as much, thanks to buying Ruse in Provoca. I don't normally buy it, but I figured, hey, for a rainy day that might work out, and boy did it. That was MVP in the Chaos fight.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, that was one thing we were wondering, and when you go back to watch the VOD, you'll see that, is trying to figure out what it was you were digging for, because, yeah, part of what got Edge into TOFR so quickly is once he found that second ribbon, he was more or less done checking chests.
Yeah, I mean, second and even third ribbon would have been totally fine, but Mazmune was the primary concern. Even though we had Fast and Temper was reasonable, I mean, that was pretty much it. There was a single point of failure on the TOFR run, so I just wanted to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, and that's fair. But worst case scenario, you did also have that Vorpal sword.
Yeah, that was great for a red wizard. That definitely did a lot of work, but there was absolutely no way I was ever equipping that on the knight.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You found the Excalibur first. If you'd gone Waterfall before you hit Ordeals, maybe we might have seen some Vorpal use, but yeah, with that Excalibur early on, there was no way you were going to go with Vorpal on the night.
Yeah, I mean, we had Power Gloves, so it almost didn't matter what I had equipped, honestly.
Yeah, that Mirage 2, though, was pretty stacked in terms of kind of items that are nice to have, but not essential.
Yeah, I mean, I think the second ribbon was in there, so that was definitely huge. But yeah, there was like a mage staff that I might have used once. I think a light axe that actually did help me out on the air floor as well. So that was something too.
And on the air floor, we got pretty nervous during that vampire encounter right before Chaos.
Oh, you and me both. I was sweating it for sure. I knew vampires didn't have a ton of hit points, and I didn't want to go through my Harm 3 charges on my knight, because I really wanted 3 ruses and a Cure 4 if I could help it, but thankfully I kept the light axe on my knight, so I was able to defeat 7 vampires, so that helped out quite a bit too.
Yeah. Yeah, you did cut it pretty close, but getting out of that fight was it made everyone breathe a sigh of relief for your sake. But how about that Chaos with his meme strats? We're going to see that here on Edgefigaro's side here in a sec, because he just cleared out Tiamat.
It was absolutely wonderful. I mean, I couldn't have asked for anything better. Because I hadn't seen the nuke spell yet. I had seen, I think, both nuclears at that point, so at least that was dead, but I still, I had to do the safety Cure 4 at like 300 and change hit points just because I didn't want to get nuked out of the race, and I pretty much figured if I died there, I was not going to win. So.
And Edge also pulling the vampire fight. He, however, has a red mage with Harm 4 handy.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have been sweating it as much if I had put Harm 4 on my knight. I didn't end up having any level 3 spells. But I didn't think about this eventuality, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. You didn't really have a lot of money hitting Elfland. It's an understandable thing where you wouldn't necessarily worry too much about, because how often do you need Harm on your knight?
Exactly, yeah. It's I would mostly just pick it up to grind zombies early on. That's pretty much it for the night, so yeah. Or I can't even use it on the night, but just for other characters as well. I figure by the time I hit level 15, I probably don't need it.
Well, Edge has made it to Chaos. Has a few spells still kicking around, so hopefully he'll be able to kind of weather this chaos. Does use his White Mage to just sort of absorb a hit on behalf of his Knight. And I think he is going to go ahead and start bonking up.
Yeah, I don't know about these zap strats necessarily, but
Now, I think he's at the point where he doesn't really have anything else to throw at Chaos on the Red Wizard, so he might as well.
yeah, well, he might just get there anyway. He's got ribbons on both of his characters, and it seemed like Chaos did absolutely nothing but attack and use status spells. So he might still be alright.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine based on what we saw out of Chaos on your side. It didn't seem like Chaos had too much more than vanilla health, if even vanilla health.
Yeah, it felt like less than that.
He was very, very gentle with all the instant death spells. It was really, really just an interesting fight.
But man, he's got Vorpal on this Red Wizard. I don't know why he's bothering with Bane strats.
I think it's a situation where if he can end this fight as quickly as possible, he wants to. Because he does not have any healing left.
Can't even use that seldom used drink command.
And he does manage to pull it out. Spoilers for Tristal.
They were only a second ahead. GG.
Yeah, GG's in chat to Edgefigaro. That was a hard-fought Temple of Fiends Revisited. Welcome in, Edge. GG.
GG. What a strange seed.
Yeah, I mentioned this to Tristal, but I'll repeat it for you. At one point, chat was describing the spell selection as rancid.
If there was a time to run that double fighter strat, this would have been it.
Oh, believe it, I was worried the whole time after I saw levels 1 through 4. I'm like, oh no, he's got Excalibur and Vorpal. This might be an easy seed for him.
We actually joked we wanted to see one of you reset and roll Thief because you had Fast and Saber in level 1, and you picked up Katana really early.
Wait, Fast was level 1?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm bad at this game.
Yeah, at a certain point, we figured you just had forgotten.
And Temper was like level 5 too, and you never went back and got that either.
I'm really bad at this game.
I mean,
I'm
it
like,
happens to
Temper
everyone.
has to be level 8. I didn't see it at levels 1 through 7.
I mean, in all fairness, you were in Melmond, and no one likes Melmond.
I checked Melman's spell shops twice, and I didn't see it. I'm bad at this game.
Well, you may be bad at this game, but even dropping down, even going to the 2-2 bracket for round 5, I don't think anyone's sitting there going, well, there's an easy win.
No, nobody's saying that. Although nobody who's gonna be 3-1 is happy that 3-1 is now the Tristal Fight Club.
Yeah, so I'm guessing, Edge, this is a bad time to mention that if you had picked up that fast, you were in Temple of Fiends Revisited about 10 minutes before Tristal was.
I'm not surprised. Like, I rated Mirage, and it gave me an extra spellcasting item, and I'm like, this might be my advantage, because the rest of the game was hot garbage.
Yeah, I saved Mirage for last, so I was actually checking quite a few chests, even checked like 10 chests in Earth Cave just to try and find another ribbon and the Masmune if I could. Because I knew with that spell selection, my knight was really, really going to be leaned on for the TOFR fights.
Did you ever find a defense or a white shirt?
I didn't find the defense. I did find the white shirt. I don't
Mirage
remember where it
2.
was.
You found in
Okay.
the chest right after you found the dragon armor, which was also Mirage 2.
But
I was in Go at that point.
Knight did have Ruse, so I put that to good use on the Chaos fight.
Man, all of the fiends would have been so much easier with Temper and Fast. My Black Mage and my Red Mage didn't really do much of anything during a lot of those fights.
Yeah, I can't imagine how useless they would have been without Temper or Fast. They're casting like Lit 2 or something absurd, just using the black shirt.
I was trying for Bane. Lots of Bane and Zap strats.
The meme strats were absolutely real.
Both from you and from Chaos.
Yeah, Chaos was totally memeing it up for me because he went through like 6 or 7 spells in his catalog, and they were pretty much all just like Bane, Stun, Stop, Zap. Just all stuff that bounced off my Franklin badge. I mean, my ribbon. So it was a tense Chaos fight with my solo knight, but with triple Ruse, Power Bonk, Excalibur, and ribbon, it really wasn't a problem.
Yeah, Chaos didn't do a lot. I got one ruse off, and then my knight ran out of magic because I didn't have Fast, so it made Kraken and Tiamat quite hairy.
Yeah, you both pulled that vampire mob right before the right before you got to Chaos, probably because you both made sure to power cycle for that long run right at the beginning of the temple. I think you honestly almost had more trouble with those vampires than you did Chaos, Tristal. I'm going to be honest.
No doubt. I mean, the vampires got me to double-digit HP. So, yeah, that's the second race in a row, too, that vampires have caused a slight heart palpitation there. So,
Did you Dan anyone?
nope. I actually kind of over-grinded. I did a little grinding on Agamas, a lot of grinding on the Eye, and because I just went to a lot of treasure chests that I wouldn't normally have gone to, I got a little extra XP. So by the time I got to Chaos, I think my knight was level 25.
Oh, man.
And I have to
Well,
give an
good
apology
game.
to chat for getting the Bless RNG War Mech and then having to run away. I'm sorry. I should have put the ribbon on my knight. It all would have been fine. But then War Mech cast Stop, and it was going to be a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, at least you knew that stop was unlikely to surface again once you got to TOFR.
I mean, I saw Stop and Ice, too. That was actually pretty unfortunate. I'd much rather have those on, Kraken 2 or something.
Yeah, but you knew to at least be ready for it to happen. But yeah, we probably need to go ahead and, give Randomania time to regroup before the Dragon Warrior Weekly that's going to be coming up here on Randomania 1 here in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I might just have to join that one, too.
Well, if you do, I think I'm on tracking for that one, so I'll see you there.
Good game, good game. Good luck in the 3-1 bracket. Give them hell for me.
Yep, I expect to see you in the final bracket as well. I have full confidence that you'll make it through to the play-in game and crush that, too. So, good luck and GG.
GG.
Is there any sense of relief for you, Tristal, now that you're 3-1? So if you've got at least 2 more matches with your 3-1 match and then the play-in race if necessary?
Yeah, I mean, at least I know I'm kind of guaranteed the play-in race at a minimum, and I'm fairly confident I can do okay in that. So I should be okay. I'd love to just be 4-1 and not have to play the play-in race. That would be lovely. I mean, this next race kind of counts for 2 in that regard. So, there's no rest at all. It's just you got to try and win.
All right. So yeah, Edge, like I said at the beginning of this, well, not at the beginning of the post game, I don't think anyone who anticipates being 2-2 next week is looking forward to the possibility of getting matched up against you.
Oh, I'll give them hell.
Well, Crystal didn't ask that much of you, so I can't see why not. But yeah, thanks a lot for a terrific race, guys. I jumped on this as soon as y'all scheduled it because I knew it was going to be a good one, and y'all gave a good one. So yeah, make sure to follow these two runners. They are fantastically good at what they do. And while you're at it, feel free to follow our restreamer, Wolfman2000, who, was who was very good at getting everything set up and was willing to jump in and commentate if we'd had some issues, even though he knew almost nothing about this game. And, Rainbow Poogle also, I think, deserves a follow for her excellent tracking tonight. And while you're at it, just go ahead and throw Papa Foy's 1-2. Who cares?
He said, "You're so nice, Woke. Appreciate you."
I do what I can. And if you're not already following the Randomania family of channels, that's Randomania, Randomania 2, Randomania 3, and Randomania 4, you know what? You need to correct that because they do a lot of good work for the randomizer communities, and frankly, you can always find something entertaining on, at least in the evenings around here. And that is going to do it here for us, at least on Randomania. There is a matchup between Jake Hooper and Arson Horse scheduled on Randomania 2 in about 2 hours, a little more than that. And if you stick around here, there's going to be some Dragon Warrior randomizer action in about 40 minutes. And both of those are definitely worth checking out. You might have to multi-Twitch to do it, but who cares? We live in the future. You can do that. Papa Foys, you want to take us out?
No, just want to say thank you to Randomania for hosting us. Edge and Tristal, you guys put on an absolutely fantastic show. You watched the VOD, and I mean, this race went from like probably a 5-minute lead to a neck and neck to a 10-minute lead, and then the Topher wipe, and it was just all over the place. We saw some great routing, some great grind decisions, and I mean, you guys both can learn a lot from this match. Well, pleasure to cast with you, sir. I hope we get to work together again.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
2.5 hours, you get Jake Hooper versus Arson Horse. New runner and old runner alike, old guard versus new guard, so that'll be exciting. And I'll pull a Will Cleosis and shamelessly plug that I'm playing Brought tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Kappa. Where's Will Cleosis? But
I'm sure he's somewhere around here.
Thank you guys again, and we will see you next time. Have a good day.
Take care, y'all.
Thank you, everybody.